All right, boys, let's do this. Is everybody present?
You.
Yes.
Yes.
I heard nothing myself, I want to say. If I was supposed to.
You weren't really supposed to on your end.
Okay.
I'm still
Just
learning
wanted
this. I'm still learning this whole thing.
Just wanted to bring it up in case that was a problem.
I will say, whoever ran that item in chat, that little doot is probably going to show up in the opening credit
sorry
screen.
about that. I meant to see if I could.
But it'll be our long anticipated, long overdue. I hope you boys enjoy what I have built and labored to bring to you guys. Much like with the other sessions for the channel, we're gonna have a little, shoot the shit sesh before we get started. How's everybody doing?
Doing fine besides how work was. Upside, I have 2 days in a row off now. Downside,
I am alive.
again, downside, I'm pretty much just back in high school with how my hours and days are going.
Oof. That's not good. It's good,
No,
but it's
because
not good.
it's 8 hours, 5 days in a row, 2 days off.
Ouch.
And yeah, again, standard, but still, what the hell?
Man,
It's okay for now. I have weekends off.
this adulting stuff is overrated, ain't it?
It definitely is.
You're telling me.
I'm old trucker.
Man, Mark, you better enjoy them weekends off. You ain't gonna have very many of them.
Well, the only reason I do is because I'm on inventory prep for the next like 3 weeks or whatever.
Sounds like you got work cut out for you.
You're gonna be a very busy man
I
later
already
this
am.
year. You'll be even
Already
more busy.
God.
I know, with the kid on the way, that's just awesome.
It's gonna be great.
It's so much
You've
fun.
got this.
I'm excited.
Be prepared to have no sleep for the next 7 years.
It's
It'll
fine.
be fine.
If not longer.
No, usually after age 5, they finally, sleep through the whole night.
Just a little bit of whiskey, you know. Oh.
Whoa.
Just kidding.
Just because most of us in this group
Grew up on that.
our parents gave us a little dab of whiskey underneath the gums to help us sleep at night. They can't do that anymore because too many people are too soft.
You can, as long as you just don't tell anybody.
Uh-oh.
Anyone, huh? Looks at the camera.
That may or may not be the attitude to have about that one.
Well, yeah, but
Once, gentlemen, unfortunately, you have activated my trap card.
Prenatal alcoholism.
Yeah, I don't plan on doing that because I don't like drinking to begin with. So.
Well, you're a cut above some.
Above the rest of us.
It'll all be.
Dude,
It'll
I
all
feel very
be
insulted
fine.
now.
It'll all be fine.
You apologize to my mead. You insulted.
It's just mead, man. It's not gonna get upset.
Mountain Dew is my preferred alcohol, so.
I apologize.
It's already feeling depressed. It's turning to straight vinegar now.
Well, that's because somebody left it out in the sun too long.
What'd you go out of the sun for?
I didn't. I fell asleep while I was drinking it.
And left it out in the sun.
A likely
No,
story.
No, left it on my dresser next to my bed. Yeah, let's
Which gets sunlight.
go to a different topic because I am incriminating myself of being an alcoholic here, which I am not.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I am nervous and anxious about this, so I do hope you guys have a little bit of fun with it.
I mean, the last one you did, Trucker, was a lot of fun. So I have high hopes for this
That
too.
that last one was pretty slapdash, if I do say so myself. This one is much more labor intensive on my end. It also doesn't help that it's being recorded. Haha.
Haha. This
Dum,
might
dum,
give us
dum,
all
dum,
those
dum.
all those views we want.
Huh.
This might be the one. Don't tell Flame
Uh,
I said that.
Don't be putting that kind of pressure on me.
It's not pressure. It's more of a pat on the back to you, because, like I said, the last one we did, I think it was awesome.
I got to
Well,
listen in on that. That one was. Whew.
y'all are gonna be proud of my sneaking around copyright on this one because I just have a picture that I took of the night sky contrasted and basically black pointed to hell so I could get the actual stars to show up because I am not testing the copyright gods with this.
Don't blame you.
Just
I think that
I'm not in the mood to test the DMCA.
DMCA.
You're towing the line there, buddy. You're towing the line.
I've got
It doesn't matter that it's a fun place to go, or at least they really wanted it to be.
They want you to believe it is.
In theory, it is. In practice, not so much.
Like many other things, it's great on paper.
Exactly. In practice, it's piss poor.
Yikes. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I hope.
Huzzah.
So are we ready to get to it?
I know if I'm
Ready
still trying to get
whenever.
all my equipment. Are we doing ammunition or no?
If your weapon uses batteries, that is your ammunition.
Okay.
If you have a bolt thrower or anything like that, you will have ammunition.
That's why I was
So,
messing with my bullets to see if I could change it as I use them. And
My
I
skip
have
shot
to.
uses regular ammunition. That the
I
gun
have
is
2 batteries for my decoupler.
So,
Yeah,
gift shot. What rounds does it take? Just regular small arm?
probably. I just put bullets.
If I
Okay.
remember correctly, it's small arms ammunition, but the skip shot has some interesting things to it.
Yeah.
It's
Compat.
the skip shot's a small arms. Let me click on it.
How do you all feel about decoupler?
I feel like decoupler is like it tried to make itself sound weaker than a disintegration gun, and it sounds more terrifying.
Hee hee ha ha.
You're gonna see a lot of that in this system. Some of the guns that don't sound terrifying at all are
No, as I said, it sounds like it tried to be like not as bad as disintegration, but it comes off sounding worse.
yeah,
Listen, it's just the bruiser model.
some of them are pants shittingly terrifying, but
I mean,
It
yeah,
only does
decoupler already sounds
4d4
that.
and
What?
has 20 charges per battery.
It just tears you apart. Fair enough.
It has capabilities.
I didn't
So
even read mine, and I'm reading it now.
yeah, people, we've been planning this one for a while, but due to life circumstances and
It's been a minute.
many other things, it has legitimately been a while. So
Oh, I did add it. Whew,
this
here we go.
isn't going to be strictly by the letter of the law when it comes to this. We're going to play a little fast and loose.
What?
Fast and loose.
Oh
That's
my
the way I
God.
like it.
I've already read Graviton Pistol, and I'm like, oh god, that sounds like it's just a fucking monster of a time.
Even better.
Well, some of them, the effect is more localized. So
I have
Actually,
some nice
it's just
abilities.
what I know for some of these words.
it's just one of them things where your brain is like, this sounds really bad. Really, really bad. And then you think about it, and you're like, well, it's a game. Let's not dwell on it too hard.
Fair enough.
All right. So, we are going to start on basically the headquarter planet of the Federation of Systems. This is where the Galactic Senate meets. This is where they do their business. This is where the trade union has its headquarter offices. It is basically a city planet from latitude point to latitude point, longitude to longitude. It is one massive city. In this absolutely huge mess of steel and glass and polycarbonates, there's a tower dedicated to a group, an organization, if you will. Handyman fix-its who don't really want to work for anyone, they want to work for themselves. So they go to work, rather paradoxically, for a group that facilitates that very thing, the Freelancer Corps. And in the tower of the Freelancer Corps, we have a rather unique individual. He's getting ready to finish out his qualifiers to become a full bona fide Lancer. He's a rather unique Selamid. And he is getting ready to pass the agility part of his qualifying. X word, my guy. Describe yourself.
For those that would have first now seen him and not knowing what Salamid would be, they see a sort of bipedal slime-like creature with a silverish tone to their body, wearing a what's it called? Wearing a silver chromish colors what's it called? Skin tight suit over it because he had been told he needed to wear clothing. He has no face features besides just a round head, pretty much.
In front of you you're trying to come to grips with it. You've seen this thing several times now, and it's talking to you as if you're best friends, you're best buds, known each other your entire lives. It is a semi-translucent, blue hologram of a humanoid. The face is much like your own. There are no definitive features. There are no eyes. There's not a nose. There's not a mouth. Mannequin would be the descriptor that we go with here. But the hands are surprisingly detailed. And because you get the sense that this thing likes to address other people as if he is himself. Well, it's very nice that you've passed your firearms quals. Now you're moving on to your agility quals. How do you feel about that, Shifter?
I feel like I can do my best. And I might also trip and fall. I'm not fully used to moving like this.
Well, see, that's the beauty of the freelancer's thing. We like to mold our own qualifiers to the people who take them. You go through this as best you can. All the while, he is gesticulating with these hands. And he is an engaging conversationalist.
I see. Well, molding my body is one of my best features, he says, putting up a larger than normal finger on a hand.
He gives you that, attaboy finger gun. You're like, hey, see? You're already getting it.
All right. So I must read my way through the course, as it will.
Yes, in a few seconds, that door over there, and he gestures towards a metallic door with a little light above it. That door will open, and you just have to get through it. Not in the best time possible. We just want to know that you can get through it. Now, we do hold annual, competitions for speed and all that, but hey, that's not what this is about, guy.
I see. So it is both timed yet not timed.
You could think of it like that, yeah. But never fear, man. Nobody's ever been hurt in these before. At least not seriously.
Ah. Well, I can at least try my best. And if I am damaged,
don't feel
well,
bad about it. If you get hurt, our very well trained staff of medical professionals will be on hand. At least I think they will. You're kind of a special case in this one. But never fear. Helix will see you through to the other side. And then this hologram just disappears.
all right. And he will essentially just morph his body to look the other way.
That door that he gestured towards, you hear a mechanism start to beep, and then the light above the door flashes green. At least you think it's green. And the door shoots open.
As was there any other note he was supposed to take for it started, or
Nope.
if that's the case, he'll start running to it.
As soon as you make your way through the open doorway, you see this perplexing jungle gym just array of obstacles and all this other stuff. And you notice that there's squares and walls that you could theoretically just jump through, but you'd have to squish. There's, over under bars. There's all kinds of things. But oddly enough, you also see that just to the left side of the room, there is a clear path. You could just say, nah, and just go to the far left side of the room and walk up the side.
Logically, they told me to go through the course. But if the course has an open door, he is actively just like sitting there thinking on it. He is actively just going. They told me to go through the course. I assume I will need to go through the course, as he will attempt to actually move through it.
All right. Roll me reflex.
Reflex. Reflex save?
Yeah. Well, we can count it as a save, but you can also use it as a check.
Yeah, I'm trying to check it on the page because looked at it on the actual app, and it is not loading well for me.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
well.
specific that there might be problem.
Well, that sucks.
So
you rolled a 5. You gonna double check before we go with that 5?
I don't roll a 5.
You tapped it and it came up in the chat.
I guess so. Oh. Am I going to double check? Sure.
I'm gonna allow it. Also, you can roll your own dice in my game.
I just gotta screenshot it then, or take a picture of it.
No, I'll trust you. We're going on the honor system here, boys.
I still would rather take a picture just in case afterwards, but I got a 13 on the second one. I guess my fingers aren't too big for this.
All right. We'll go with that 13 for now, but in future you can roll your own dice.
Got it.
On the honor system, boys. So, you decide you're going to go through the course. You're not going to fall for what you think may be an obvious trap to go straight up the left side of the room. How much gusto do you want to put forth? Do you want to get really acrobatic with this? Do you just want to get through it as quickly as you can, or do you want to kind of show your stuff? Show what you can do.
He was told to try to do his best of getting through it, so he's going to be as quick as possible.
All right. Acrobatics, if you please.
All right.
Oof.
Going to assume that's not great.
You start making your way, and you get through the first couple obstacles okay. You're holding your form just fine. But when you come to a tricky set of S-curves that lead to a parkour over-under, you kind of lose shape of your form for just a second. And you kind of smack the podium that you're trying to jump over to slide under the one behind it. and you lose a couple of seconds. But other than that, you feel you're still doing pretty good.
All right, all right. Little bit of a hurdle, but I feel this is going very, very well.
All right. Your next set of obstacles, you actually have a little bit of a fork in the path here. You can either curve off to the right, which involves this weird, tricky sort of staggered offset jumps, or you can curve off to the left, which has this really awkward, very long, round pole that you feel like you'd have to get across fairly quickly before you lose your balance to get to the other side.
I see. Well, flipping coin. My gut tells me to go for the jump. Actually, wait, no. I'm going to go for the pole since I think with my malleable form, I could be able to just wrap around it.
All right. Give me an acrobatics with advantage. One more.
I thought I
There we
clicked it twice.
go. No, it came up twice.
Uh,
You make that split second decision. I can run on that just fine. I can like shape it and I can just get along just great. And man, impressive. You get halfway across, no problem. And then you realize that it's starting to roll from underneath you. But hey, you're an adaptable sort. You move with the flow. You grab with your your lower leggies as they are with you being a Selamid, an ooze, and you ride that roll and you let the momentum carry you through the rest of the log. And you land on the platform on the other side. Very nicely handled. You hear a voice emanate from you know not where.
I assume this is the helix I was told about.
It is the same voice as the blue hologram gentleman you were speaking with not too long ago.
Ah,
You assume so.
thank you for the compliment.
That's no problem. The rest of the obstacle course is pretty much more of the same. If you've ever seen, Ninja Warrior or Wipeout, you you have a fairly decent idea of what their agility course is all about. They're wanting
Yeah,
they're wanting to make sure you can move.
move and keep my feet as I go.
Yep. So you get to the other side because that roll was so good. And you see this big butt. And you reason to yourself, well, how do they know I'm done unless I smack that? So,
Assumedly.
assuming you smack the button,
Yes.
you hear a tone. Doot. Congrats, Shifter. I'm sorry, is it Clive or CLIV?
Both. I've been told it is both.
Hmm.
They said
Well,
it was Clive for ease, CLIV for technicality.
have a preference?
Clive, since I was told that would make me come off more friendly.
Clive it is. Then you hear this weird electronic humming. All right, that's done. Your agility test is over. Please proceed. And then you see a seam open up in the wall by the button. And it just Star Treks. And there's a wall. Or there was a wall, now there is a door.
Thank you, then. And he'll just move on over to it.
Inside, past the door, you see this lovely, almost like a green room. It seems like it's there for people to wait. And inside, sitting in one of the chairs, just reclining back as if he hasn't a care in the world, is that blue hologram. I must say, rather well handled.
Thank you. I pride myself in my ability to move dexterously, though not too well.
Well, you might not like the next part.
Ah, that does not sound fortuitous.
Based on what you've told us, we think you can handle it. Our eggheads in development found a way to patch me into your little buds.
Ah, apologies for the many, many voices you will hear then.
Well, it's either that or we completely redesigned the Comlink wristband. And seeing as we don't really have that many oozes or Selamids working for us, we would rather get it to work like this.
Noted. Bless you.
Oh, thanks. I was programmed to have these weird affectations, coughs, sneezes. I don't really need to do any of them, but hey. They say it makes me more personable.
Oh, I know the feeling. I was told to make myself look like I am scratching every few hours to make it seem like I am, well, itchy. I don't understand why others do this.
Well, work. The joy of work. Helping others. Well, I would say the human condition, but we don't have just humans working here. But hey, all us carbons are supposed to help each other, right?
Indeed.
All right. This is going to hurt just a little bit. And he kind of points over at a box that is just on a table next to a couch. Just stick a finger, pseudopod, whatever you got, into that hole right on the top.
All right. He goes over, lifts his hand thing, forms it into a just straight point, and just pokes.
Right as you do that, you hear him say, the boys are going to be interested to know whether or not you feel pain. And as soon as you stick your little...
Oh, wait. Before he says that, he'll turn and go, oh, we very much...
As soon as your finger makes contact with the... you assume it's a little data jack element on the inside of that port that you stuck a finger into. All of your little nanites just as if all of them just had a short little static shock. One or two wouldn't be too bad, but you have countless thousands, millions maybe. And they all just they all just got a little static shock.
This is only the, and then just immediately goes straight and goes, what's it called? 7 worst pain I've felt.
Roll me a fortitude, which is going to be, fortitude is kind of like your constitution in this.
Oh no!
First DM roll of the game, boys. You're going to be taking 2 points of electric, as all of your little nanites just had a shit fit.
Ah. Ugh, that is. Oof.
But hey, Clive, look at it like this. You can do this now. And then he like gestures with his left wrist, like you're trying to adjust a watch, you know, or
Yep.
wind up an old school motion wind watch. And you get the gist that he's like implying you should mimic that movement.
After taking his finger out of the jack, just turned his arm over and essentially tried to just hide his fist to see if that'll appear.
You feel a little sluggish at first, but not very, very bad the more they start to work together. You see a little, probably like 5 by 3 inch section of your arm almost go reflective like a screen. And Helix's face shows up on that screen. See? You're connected to me now, bud. Congrats. You're a freelancer. How you feel?
Excruciating pain. I would change that 7 to a good, probably 4.
Yeah, see, we've had people describe it as being touched after rubbing 1,000 socks on carpet or licking an ion cathode. I wouldn't know anything about that. But hey, it's all said and done now. I'm gonna need you to wait here though. We already have a job for you, and it's coming down from the higher ups. You good to sit here by yourself for a minute? Well, as by yourself as you can be, buddy.
Yes, I am.
Good to hear. And Helix just kind of does his thing and poofs, leaving you alone in this little green room. There's magazines and all kinds of things you can entertain yourself with.
Is there like a calculator of some sort?
There is an infotainment panel on one wall. You reason you could probably get it to do math.
That is not what he was going to use it for. He was going to eat it.
You will notice that there are no ready-to-hand small electronics in this room.
Shame. And at that rate, he'll just go over to the info panel and just essentially try to like look through it.
We're going to change perspective. You're on about the 30th floor of Freelancer Tower. While you were doing that, 150 floors above you. Wolfram, you there, buddy?
I
All right. You got a message on your comlink telling you to come to the president's office. This is kind of rare.
okay.
It's you're not entirely sure, but you think it's been about a month or two since you've seen the president. You reckon she must have something important to talk about.
Sure. I get my things ready for a quick evac and head that way.
You you get to the outer office, specifically her outer office, and you see an individual that you're very familiar with at this point. You see the president's secretary is not really the right word, assistant. He's an elder Kasatha man, and you know him as Petrix. Ah, Wolfram, so good to see you again.
Stein and Common, good to see you too. Do you have any idea what I'm being held for?
He will motion for you to come closer, and he will start to sign to you in Vlachen short sign. It's very important. Something to do with what your father was working on. She won't tell me anything else.
Sign back in blocking. Thank you. I'll go see her and find out.
You naturally don't hear this, but a little light illuminates on his desk with a buzz, and he signs to you. She will see you now. And
I'm nodding, go on in.
you see the doors to her inner office open up.
Oh, and for everyone that is wondering, my character is Death. Because I kind of noticed none of us did character profiles before this.
They're your bio cards are on the screen.
Oh, okay.
It's all right though.
I don't really see a screen on my end.
We were gonna go over it shortly.
Oh, my bad.
But
Well, anyways, continue on with the story.
it's all right. You see the doors open up, and you begin walking. While you're doing that, you want to go ahead and describe yourself, bud?
All right. Give me a second, real quick. I'm having technical difficulties on my end.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It wants to work right. So, anyways, I'm playing a Valakan, which anamorphic wolf bipedal. And I was born deaf. Yeah, funny. A deaf dog, but it happens. And I was born into this line of work. Decided to be a technician. Do try to help my people.
It is a noble cause.
So let's go see what The commander wants.
Nice. You sidestepped it nicely. You walk through the doors and you see the president of the Freelancer Corps behind her desk. Normally, you've been in here many times. Normally, her office is pristine. Normally, there's not a pen out of place. There's not a single sheet of paperwork not in its appropriate folder. But this time something's got her shaken. There are folders on the floor. There are papers strewn about the office. And the president looks more worried and anxious than you have ever seen her.
Oh, this cannot be good. I go in and start picking up the paperwork and try to reorganize.
You want to roll me I guess that would be an investigation. What is it?
Come on. Investigation.
Or a perception.
I think that's it. I'm as blind as I am deaf.
Remember, you can use your own dice, guys.
I still gotta find mine.
Jeez. Well, that 12 is going to get you a little bit. You,
Why did I do it twice?
I don't know. You grab a few sheets, and while you're grabbing, you see one sheet. It's not really so much a sheet as it is the top sheet of what you think would be an entire thesis. And all you see in it is a bunch of calculations that don't really make much sense to you. But you keep seeing a couple of words over and over and over. You keep seeing the word Solarian, and you keep seeing the word Trisala. Trisala. Now, if you want to roll a society for me real quick, we'll see if you can remember some stuff.
Yeah, there's not even a society on this thing.
You don't have a society? Shame.
Nope.
What about a history? You got one of those?
There's no history on this thing.
Bummer. Oh well.
What about culture, Trucker?
Culture would work.
I got culture.
Roll it. Thank you, Mark. You saved me. 12. Something sparks in the back of your mind with the word Solarian. You're not entirely sure why, but the thing that you keep, pinging on when it comes to that word is something to do with the actual energy of stars. And you can piece that together with, certain knowledge you have in your own good time. Your presence in the office has been noted. And she waits to catch your attention, as it were.
Pick up all the papers I can and set them back onto her desk and then sign out. Hello, Commander. You called for me?
She will sign "I did" one moment. And she will reach over onto the left side of her desk, onto a control panel, and she'll press a few buttons. The shutters on the windows come down, making the room much more, not dark, but these aren't so much blackout shutters as they are diffuse. It's making the light much softer in the room. And she doesn't say anything further until those shutters are closed. And then she pushes another button. You've seen her push this button before.
Okay.
She then signs to you, "We can talk, not being overheard."
Uh-oh.
"I have leads."
Leads to what? I'll sign.
Many, many things. Some of which no good, some better. And then she'll kind of like grab at, her temple as if, she's got the mother of all headaches. And she'll come back to signing. "Leads on stars dying."
After hearing that, my character is fully drawn into the conversation. Leads
Yet
as in our star, or leads as into other stars?
others. Output of Lacan star still steadily declining. No more than any before. More stars in the outer rim go dark. Not dim, dark. And she emphasizes it very strongly.
Ooh. Oh. What do you have for me? What do you require of me?
All information leads to, and she'll think back and she'll flip through that stack that you collected. All information leads towards scientists working on stellar ion. She may be the key. Location unknown. Whether alive or dead, unknown. Last seen in proximity of, and she'll think about how to sign the next part. Last seen in proximity of Star Station Tau 90.
Mm. My ears will go back, but still focused. So you're sending me to go hunt her down then?
Yes and no. We have
No.
a secondary task at hand. One that could be beneficial to us. And she uses the us as in Valaka us, not freelancers us.
Okay.
New contract requests new applicant for job. Very strange. Sending you and second Lancer with to assist. This one just doesn't smell right.
Spy, corruption.
More like, why would they insist on specific Lancer? Fresh to the core. My understanding is he isn't even qualified yet. He should be downstairs working on qualifications.
Weird.
You see the concern.
Yes. So how are they already being contracted if they're not even in our system yet?
Exactly. Does not smell right.
Hmm. Well, I take it then I would be sitting and waiting till they complete, or
No. One moment, please. And then she will place her hand back down on that control panel. She'll press a few buttons. And you'll see her mouth move. You don't you're pretty good at reading lips and everything, and you get snippets because she's not looking directly at you when she says it, but it seems like she's telling Petrix to tell somebody to come in, to come in. Oh, Mark.
And you'll see Dandy or Johnny walk in, or Daniel walk in, and he's pretty. You'll see somebody tall, with a lot of like mechanical parts here and there, but the main feature you'll kind of see is his left arm underneath a cloak. You'll barely see it though. It'll be metallic, but he tries to hide it mostly. And he'll just, as he's walking in, he'll be like, yeah, he asked me to come in.
I did, Daniel. One moment. Uh, Daniel, the Vlakan woman that you understand to be President Longmane, looks at this other Vlakan that you've never seen before, and she signs at him. You're not really familiar with Vlakan's sign, though, so you're not entirely sure what's being said.
From my background, I'm not too. He doesn't really care all that much. He's like, He's just like, if it's important, they would tell me.
Hmm. But to you, Wolfram, she says this will be second agent on the team.
A turn, sign in common. Do you understand sign?
Through my background, I would say I would pretty well know sign language.
He would know he would know common sign language, not
Yeah, common sign
Vlachen.
language.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So I would, yeah, I guess I would sign back. Very like short though. It'd be like short sign of, yeah, I understand.
Good enough.
Now that I have the two of you here, Wolfram, you're aware she will continue signing in common to you, Wolfram, for your sake. Now that I have both of you here, the contract in question doesn't really pass my sniff test. Something's a little odd about it. The contractor is specifically requesting a Lancer who, to my knowledge, has not actually passed quals. So, instead of sending out this fresh Lancer to deal with whatever, possible problems may come up on this one, we're going to be sending you two. I trust the two of you well enough to watch out for our new Lancer. We are, a family, as it were. We watch our own, we take care of our own. Understood.
Job's a job, and you're right. We look after our own.
Wolfram, be a dear. Go down to the armory, see Caval. He should be outfitting our new Lancer, and he did request to see you, so he he seems to have, something of a soft spot. So, if you could go down there and ease that poor old fool's heart and make sure that our new Lancer is equipped and outfitted, I would greatly appreciate it. I have a few things to speak with Daniel about, and then we will get you on your way.
Will do. And then I turn to leave and start headed down.
You feel the doors shut behind you, and then you look off to your left where Petrix is sat in his little cubicle. He gives you a little wave.
I wave and start headed down to the elevator to go to where I need to go.
All right. Daniel, you're now in the office alone with Miss Longmane, President Longmane. Okay. Now that certain points of etiquette are out of the way, we are, and by we I mean I, am not entirely up to speed on the sudden interest of the Verthon government of wanting Verthon agents in the Freelancers Corps, but I have suspicions. So long as nothing happens to curtail the operations of my business, we should be able to assist one another in our goals.
I agree. That's the reason I'm here. Trying to see if I can't, I guess, help both sides.
So, are the Verthon aware of the old Terran saying, "You scratch mine and I'll scratch yours"?
Would I know? Because I'm having trouble even remembering. My mission is not necessarily mine alone. It is more of
There are
I
others
have
involved, but you know, all of you were tasked to do something and behave as if you were the only ones doing it. Make sense?
okay.
You know, for the purposes of redundancy.
I'll put it plainly. How about you scratch my back? I'll scratch yours. I don't know about my planet or my government, but let's just say I'm pretty good at what I do. So
No need to elaborate. I've been made mostly aware. So, tangentially, you will help us, and in return, we will help you. That does seem adequate, amenable even.
I agree.
Now, I did not mention this to Wolfram, mostly because he's probably not going to care. But there's going to be a fourth on this. He's already on station. You may find him difficult. For him, it's more along the lines of he has to do this or he loses his position.
Mm,
He's not doing it
Just
out of any sense of altruism.
so kind of a wild card, I take it.
His interest in our organization wasn't for the benefit of others, but only for the benefit of himself. Or at least that was my impression.
So I take it can't necessarily rely on him being much of a team player.
Oh, if the interests align, he will be a team player. And if what is happening is what I think is happening, it will be interesting for him. I could be wrong, but my nose is always fairly strong on things like this. I think you'll find him, if not trustworthy, mostly reliable.
I guess I'll just have to determine that on the field.
I leave that up to your judgment. By the way, I know Verces isn't exactly in the outer rim, but you have been on long distance transport before?
I have.
We will be putting you up in stasis for this upcoming transfer. Your area of operation for this contract is in the Tau Ceti system, and it will be not the shortest jump you've ever made, but it will be rather lengthy. That's not going to mess up any of your mechanics, is it?
And I would know it wouldn't.
No, it very much will not.
Nah, there shouldn't be any issues with that.
It is good to hear. Okay. Now that we've all been mostly caught up, make your way down to the armory on the 30th floor. Meet up with Caval. He is a rather ornery lion man, but he does do his job very, very well.
I'll see to the others and talk to this Caval.
Very good. Dismissed.
And he'll just kind of, I guess what he would do is maybe a salute of sorts out of habit and then leave.
Brave. All right. X word, buddy.
Yep.
You wait in that room about 15 minutes, and Helix pops up. All right, now that all that has been sorted, I have been tasked with taking you to go meet Mr. Grumpyans. Well, his name is Caval Quartermain, but I like to call him the Grumpy Guy. So Mr. Grumpyans it is.
Does he like this name?
Oh, heavens no.
Ah. Note to self, do not call them grumpy.
Yeah. If I was much more cruel, I would tell you to just call him Mr. Quartermain, but don't do that. Just call him Caval. He's as harmless as a big pussycat. Which I guess is a good thing because, well, you'll see.
Noted. As he'll get up from where they're sitting, whatnot. Post the information page, I assume, and then just go on.
Roll me, just because I'm interested to see what you will roll. Roll me a d6.
A D6. Okay, I'm going to actually get out my dice for this one. I got it. 2.
All right, let's see. Where's my list? There we go. You got a 2.
Yeah.
All right. What you came across while you were scrolling through your infotainment system, you came across a shock jock radio program. Think Howard Stern, but way more like that guy that does like really bad financial stuff, like sell this now, buy this immediately. You know that guy, the sound effects
Yep.
and all that.
Yep.
That energy is what you're going to be hearing about this. Guys, can you believe it? The Zephyrin princess is going to marry our Laputian dynastic heir. What has this come to? And he's just going on and on and on about how this is probably not going to end well for the Laputian royal family. And it's just a bunch of nonsensical, think about all the crap you've heard about every royal wedding ever.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of close it out. Just like,
He just stands up and goes, I understood none of that.
because the only part of that you kind of get is that you're on Laputa Prime. That's the planet you're on. So maybe somewhere in the nanites of the ooze, you can think, apparently one of the royals here is marrying somebody that they really shouldn't. But other than that, you don't really know.
Yep, it's nothing that would interest him either way, because he was known for the job, and that's about it.
So Helix escorts you down to the armory. You go into the turbo lifts, for lack of any better way to describe a super speed elevator. You almost feel it in your collective, the gravitational wonkiness of a high speed elevator.
Yep.
And Helix is just sitting there grinning. Or at least he's got that smug air of somebody that looks like they would be grinning. Shittily from ear to ear. Just watching you experience things. I wonder, is that uncomfortable? I wouldn't know.
What?
Well, obviously, you're feeling negative G's. I mean, yeah, sure, you're still feeling some kind of gravity. Laputa Prime is, 1.4. But hey, it's a high speed elevator. We're going down quick.
My
gotta
kind
be
is known
feeling
to
something.
adapt to gravity very well.
Interesting. That's some more knowledge for the eggheads. And you'll see Helix kind of glow ever so slightly brighter blue, and then back to a more regular tone hue. They know now. I wonder what they'll do with that information. Huh. Who knows? Many things. Maybe nothing. Who knows? Ah, you might want to brace yourself.
I assume after that, give it like 2 seconds, and then I'm going to say that Shifter's going to jump real quick.
Brave. Okay. So the high speed elevator comes to a very quick stop. You jump about a second before it comes to a complete stop. And gravity, being gravity, reasserts itself. And you hit the elevator floor and you kind of, bulge out a little bit.
A lot less painful than if it had been direct feeling. Thank you, Inertia.
Well, sorry about that, guy. That was another one of those, kooky little things they asked me to do.
Noted.
1 second, guys. Little fella is apparently a chow hound. So see, we just don't have, like, we have maybe 100 of you guys, but we don't have one of you guys with a bunch of metal in it. So we're kind of interested to see how that works. Sorry about making you a guinea pig and all.
Oh no, it is fine, just so long as there is not a lot of painful.
No. We can't do that. We're legally not allowed to.
Ah, good. Last time that happened, we did not take kind to it.
And you get that he was making a little bit of a joke, like he was trying to make that funny. Like, oh, we're legally not allowed to hurt you, but man, if we could.
Yeah, he just took that in complete stride and just went complete honest with the answer.
But anyway, if you'll follow me, the door opens and he like doesn't even turn around and walk. He just floats along backward, keeping what would be his eyes on you.
Ah, got it. Just morphs his body around in his suit and then does the same.
Now see, it's that kind of, awesome, three-dimensional thinking that's going to get you far, kid.
I
Well,
always assumed people would have, well, followed the same kind of idea. If I don't need to fully turn around, why do so?
I mean, the more's the pity for the rest of the, carbons that have necks
Hmm,
and
that must be a
eyes.
challenge. Must be a challenge. Very much so.
Hell, they make do. Speaking of which, remember what I said. Do not stare at his face. Bye, and then Helix disappears as soon as you reach a door that says Freelancer Armory on it.
All right. They'll go up to the door and just knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock.
It slides open.
Hello.
You hear a
May I come in?
slight echo. Hello, hello.
Intriguing.
Do you step in?
I have not been given permission to, but I was told to arrive here. May I come in?
That's typically what you do when you open a door.
Yes, but I was not given the full rundown. I am sorry. And they they just walk in.
Because it's going to be funny. Wolfram, you turn the corner right as you see this vaguely, almost like mercurial looking, ooze go through the door to the armory before you can meet up with him and warn him. And you logically deduce that Helix must be up to some shenaniganry.
It's the bridge of my nose going, well, let's see where this goes.
Do you
I follow
go?
behind,
You go up to the
follow
door.
behind, but I go up to the door, but I don't enter. I just watch.
So the door closes, and you just kind of sit there for a second, and then it opens back up, and you see Helix kind of poke his head around the corner and look at you. Then he just kind of gives you that almost coquettish, like, come here, big boy, as he, like, does the finger wag at you.
The pie smelling finger wag.
Yes.
Just stand at the door and cross my arms, going, I should definitely reset you.
Do you say that? Like, mouth it or what?
No, I'm thinking in my head as I'm checking it and debating if I should.
So you're standing in the door and you hear the usual grumblings. Or not here, but like y'all it is happening. You've seen it
Mhm.
dozens and dozens of times. Shifter, you enter the armory. And to say that the guy sitting at the desk is a huge lion man would be a disservice to the man. You have never seen anything this big before. He is huge.
Oh, he probably has, just not in a minute. It's probably bigger even.
He is easily 8 feet, probably 2 inches tall.
Oh yeah, he's definitely seen a little bit bigger, just a smidge.
He is, as some of the young youths on Laputa Prime say, a unit.
Yep, sounds about right.
And what you find interesting is that this guy, at first glance, he's been around, you know. He's got a mechanical, left arm. He's got a cybernetic left eye, which you notice rather quickly because the entire left half of his face looks as if he was in a very bad fire, so we don't get in trouble. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. All the fur and what would be a mane on that side of his head is just gone. And you can see a little bit of gray, getting into the amber hues of what you imagine used to be a very prideful lion man.
No, he can't. They can only see in just shaded colors.
I'm giving you the player that knowledge. This is an old, grizzled, like, looks perpetually pissed off at everything.
They're
Lion
always pissed. Got it.
And he hasn't said anything to you yet except, well, that's what you do when you open a door.
Got it.
You've just been standing there for the better part of 10 seconds and awe. Or concern. Helix is trying to figure that out. He's steadily staring at you.
More like just standing there because I was told to come here. I wasn't told what exactly to do. So just standing there.
I need to roll something for him real quick. Oh yeah. You're gonna see the man get up. And how tall do you try to make yourself? Like, usually.
Usually, roughly around like just 5 feet straight.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. So, sitting down, he is as tall as you are standing up. So, he stands. He walks around his desk. Straight up ignores you. Walks past. Pushes, or he tries to push Helix out of the way, but Helix is a hologram, so he's more or less just and he stares out the door and he looks right at Wolfram Ah, the babysitter. Come on in, boy. Come on in. We might as well make sure he's not gonna die.
Ah,
I
so that's
signed,
who.
I
So
signed
that
him
is
for lock-in. Aw, no show this time?
just as this is happening with Clive staring like still at the seat where what's it called? Uh, I'm forgetting his name already. Lion Man.
Caval.
Caval, yeah. Where Caval was sitting, he goes, ah, so that's who was out there.
Yes, there will be a show, but not the one you want. He's, signing in common, but also saying it out loud for Clive's benefit.
Clive can, well, Clive can't understand it, but can see the movements at least. So fair.
Look, I've learned to mellow out. I've gone through some self-help programs, and they're designed to help me calm down. My therapist says I was carrying too much stress.
And here I wanted to see you throw another person, and this time it being a slime?
Selamid.
I'm still signing him for lock-in.
Ah, fair enough.
Look, still signing in common. Just because your mom is gonna be all you need to calm down doesn't mean I'm gonna sit here and just completely calm down. Who knows? You might still go through that door if you keep testing me. Lord knows you need some kind of father figure to put you through a wall sometimes.
No thanks, I still remember the last one.
That lesson obviously didn't take.
Let's do something to stay in a good mood.
Well, all of that aside, we have to help the guy here, Clive. Sorry about the rudeness there, but I had to make sure that, this little young one, and he very, purposefully, condescendingly makes a hand gesture towards Wolfram. I had to make sure this young one didn't get lost.
Mm.
Who knows? He might walk out into the street somewhere. And then what would his mother say if I, his father figure, were to let him get hit by a fucking truck or something?
She would probably
Signing,
not like it.
signing in common. You know they make the lights for us deaf people, right?
Yeah, but it's really hard to not get hit when you're in the middle of the street because I threw you there. Wait, I didn't say that out loud. Helix, don't you dare. And if you both look over at Helix, if a faceless mannequin could just giggle, that's what Helix would be doing. As if
You'll
he's like, I'm gonna go tell the boss. I'm gonna go tell the boss.
they'll just hear some scrapes and pops coming from like Clive at that moment. Just like weird like high pitched scrape sound and then just a few like pop 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 sounds.
was that?
Oh, that is
What?
my land. That's how us Salamins tend to communicate whenever we aren't talking to those that cannot understand us.
Huh.
Hmm.
That was weird. That almost
That was just
sounded like that almost sounded like a dead ion battery in a slug thrower. That was weird.
I've been told that before.
For some reason I doubt it. They stopped making those a while ago. Oh,
Right.
nothing makes me feel
I have
old.
not been. You'd see them like reach what would essentially be a hand and essentially scratch the side of their head and just go, right, I have not been told that before.
Oh, is this one of those weird? You know what? I don't want to know.
Hmm.
Let's
That must have been Shifter 24's spot.
that gives me a headache just thinking about it. Okay, well, there's only one reason people come into my armory, and that's because they need something. Now, what do you need? I'm assuming you need gear.
I was told to just come here for gear, but I was never told what to get exactly.
Well, that's the thing. We usually just let you pick. Now, I'm not going to let you into the really good stuff. You know, none of that ion pulse grenade stuff for you just yet. He says as he settles back down at his desk.
I see. And what's it called? Just essentially looking around, but without turning their head, since you know the whole what's it called blind sight thing. They'll then like turn their head for everyone else to essentially get a notice of what they're looking for, and then walk over to a pistol. What about this one? As he like lifts up a skip shot.
Ah, pretty decent. I've had worse. I had better too. But hey, it'll get the job done. Everything in this room, and you start to realize that your 60-foot range kind of limits you a little bit because you get the feeling that this room is much, much bigger than your 60 feet allows.
Yeah, just like I'm feeling there's something more, but it's not there per se.
Oh, it's there. You're just not allowed to it yet. You're fresh.
Effectively. Yeah, that's what I was. Like, there's probably a wall in the way for it, but I can tell it's there.
Well, there's several doors, key coded and biometric locked. And you'll never guess whose biometrics open those doors.
I would assume yours.
Well, not just mine, but Boss Lady doesn't come down here too much.
Ah,
Hurts a
fair
little bit,
enough.
actually. Even
That is
even young Wolfram here is not even allowed the good stuff yet.
disheartening to hear.
I have to make a roll real quick. Okay, he's rolling hot. He will hold up a finger. Wait a minute. The door will slide open. Mark, you're here, bud.
Mhm. So at what do I catch as I'm walking in?
You catch a weird mercurial looking ooze man holding what appears to be a tier 1 skip shot pistol. And you see Wolfram just kind of standing there all, trying not to laugh or trying not to do whatever he's doing. And you see Caval Quartermain. You've met him once or twice now.
So, first thing he's gonna say is, must be the Rook.
He is the chess piece indeed.
Hmm.
He just got
Yeah.
done asking me about that skip shot there. And I told him it's decent enough. It'll get the job done. You can trust it. Everything in this room you can trust. Except Wolfram.
I just give the middle finger.
What? It's not like I'm telling any lies.
You know damn well I do my job. You're the one that trained me.
Oh, you're not wrong.
So if any fuck up I have, it falls to the teacher too.
Nah, 'cause sometimes a student just can't be taught.
I
Sounds like
can't
a
agree
poor
more.
teacher then.
Training comes with, you can only train somebody so much. Sometimes you gotta learn new things on your own.
Yeah. There are certain things that you just have to learn on the job. Speaking of, you guys have one, right?
We do indeed.
All right.
Do you, I take it you guys know, where we're going, correct?
I nod.
Yes. No, not really.
Which is accurate because he's the only one who hasn't actually been told where you're going yet.
Boom.
See,
I've been told,
this is all
I've been told
Helix
by
fault.
Helix I would know when I would know, and I have
Well,
not known yet.
well, there's no training like getting your feet first or sludge first into hell.
What is a hell?
There's
I
certainly
guess
different
for
kinds.
you would be an EMP or a Faraday cage.
Oh, that does sound petrifying.
I take it you have gear ready for us for this specific mission, though?
I'd have to pull it up, and then he pulls up, holds up his right arm, and he does that twist movement again. Clive, you saw Helix do it earlier to, mimic what you should do. But
Yep.
you see he actually has a silver, almost like a bracelet on, but it's a lot wider. It's probably, you know, at this point getting close to like a vambrace. And he kind of does that twisty jerk motion, and you see the screen pop up, and you see him kind of type a few things on it. Ah, yeah. Skip shots will do. You might want to pick up stems. If you feel like you might get shanked or shot, you might want to get some armor. I'm not entirely
Ah,
sure how that's going to work for you, though.
I am wearing one. It is called a second skin.
Oh, well,
He
see,
says, like, morphing his body, just showing, like, it's there.
you came pre-equipped. I know, Wolfram, you have equipment.
I was told it was better to
But
not be, quote unquote, naked.
I'm almost curious as to who would tell you that, because you don't have any of the usual things to.
Helix said it was company policy.
Helix, you're not wrong, but stop it. And you just hear this like giggling, like
He is a joyous fellow.
That's one word for it. We're not really allowed to mess with him too much. He is the way he is, and if we were to change it, a great many entities would get involved. So we're kind of stuck with him. But for all the bad things that can be said about him, the one good thing is that he actually does do his job when you need him to do it.
Yes, but trying to get him to actually do his job.
Now, hey, Mr. Guy, I do my job perfectly, I'll have you know.
Yes, but we could also do without the sass and the trouble you give us before you actually do it.
Variety is the spice of life.
No bullshit gets the job done faster.
At that, what's it called? Shifter is going to go over to another weapon because there's one I've been thinking about getting. And he'll pick up a Manica Tactical.
Okay.
Essentially like a arm guard that can essentially pop out a bit for an extra.
So is it like a shield?
Specifically, consisting of a series of durable arm plates strapped across a limb. These weapons serve as a dual purpose of offense and defense. Gladiator manicas are favored by players of martial sports such as Butaris, despite their ungainly size preventing other weapons being wielded with the same hand.
Got you.
They have,
So it functions as technically, I guess, armor and a weapon. I dig it.
yeah, though it doesn't have a like armor-like property. Oh wait, no, it does. It says block as block.
So you can block with it, but it doesn't give you any kind of AC bonus.
Unless block gives that, I don't think so.
So for real world reference, it's similar to a buckler,
Yeah,
kind of.
I think block.
A spring-loaded buckler.
I think block is like it's kind of like dodge. It allows you to.
When you successfully strike a target with a melee attack using such a weapon, you gain a +1 to enhancement bonus for your AC for 1 round against melee attack from that target.
Okay. So it gives you a +1 to
If
your
I hit,
AC specifically from that target. Gotcha. Pretty decent.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't see a problem with you having that. Just as long as you have the in-house currency to cover it.
I do. As like what's it called? They pull out the credit chip and whatnot.
Yeah,
That is
I,
another. They like just think for a moment. Roughly 360, 370, 360. Have
sounds
these
about
prices
right.
changed in the last decade?
No. Prices are usually fairly solid here on Lappy Prime. They may go up or down depending on what part of the rim you're on, but hey, it also depends on the quality of the manufacturer. For the safety and sanity of everybody at the table and above in the audience, currency in Starfinder is basically on cred sticks. Think of it kind of like a pseudo credit card with, a digital currency called a credit. There are, places in my setting that do not take them. They will need to get creative when they come across these particular places. The word barter will probably come up. But yes, all of the people were issued company cred sticks that fit, except in Clive's case, they fit on your comlink unit, which is very similar to the one Kaval is wearing. It's basically like a little bracelet that when you give it a jerk, it will activate the screen and then you can type on it. You can talk to Helix on it. You can get information from the Helix library on it, stuff like that, within reason. So yeah, in-house currency, yeah, that should do just fine. Just make sure you actually read the manual for that while you're on your ship out.
That I will. Says putting up a salute, just added S.
And simply because I like all of you, except Wolfram, he'll reach down into his desk and he'll pull out a small little container, probably about the size of 2 decks of cards, put together. And he'll set it down on his desk. Inside that are 6 stem units. It will keep you from biting the big one. It'll put a little bit of pep in you, but it's not going to completely fix you. So think of those as a little bit of a last resort.
So I take it 2 each.
Yeah, if you want to be democratic about it.
It would be the most efficient.
Well, good thing I already picked up 10 myself, so I'm good.
The way we kind of have that flavored. Specifically, Daniel and Wolfram, the equipment y'all have is stuff that y'all have had, for a while because y'all have worked here for a
Yes.
while. So any of the stuff that y'all got with your starting wealth is stuff y'all have had, for the purpose of narratives here.
Yeah.
So, without further much ado, you guys are, shepherded off by Caval. And you know what? Just because I think it'd be kind of funny. Daniel and Clive, give me perceptions.
Perception. Scroll. There you go.
Let's see.
Six.
Shifter, you're just gonna have to miss out on this one.
Damn shame.
Let's see. Mine's 16.
Daniel, as you're walking away, you notice that Caval kind of catches Wolfram's shoulder to stop him from leaving. And much to your surprise, he kind of gives him like, that half-hearted stepdad hug. Like that side hug stuff. You're not entirely sure what's going on with that. Wolfram, what's your response?
I grip him tight and then right in his back as I lift one leg. Breathe it in as I let one fly.
Oh, monster.
I start chuckling as I walk out.
He'll
Deep,
take
deep.
he'll take out a little like pocketbook, and you'll see him make a tally mark in it. You guys, for the sake of a tad bit of brevity, you guys are then led to a shuttle that takes you to a launch platform, and you all board the orbital shuttle that'll take you out off world to actually get you to the long distance transport. Because boys, this isn't some regular sci-fi stuff. No, not every ship can come down into Atmo. Because guess what? Gravity is just not kind.
So we're taking an elevator, basically.
Fucking gravity.
You're taking a taxi that can go up and down between, orbit and atmosphere to the much larger ship that can't. You're put on board. You're all asked the very important question, have you ever used a stasis pod before? Daniel has. Wolfram has. And I'll leave it up to Clive whether or not he has.
What is a stasis pod?
All right. For the player's knowledge, stasis pods are pretty much just this little cushiony tube that you get loaded into, and some rather medic heavy sci-fi hand wavium occurs, and your entire biological process is basically paused for the duration of the travel. Some people ask, do you dream in stasis? Maybe. Essentially, it would in my sci-fi head. You fall asleep, you wake up. It's a week later, and you're a couple thousand light years away.
A good nap.
Yeah, except it doesn't even feel like that to you.
5
Yeah.
more minutes.
So, Clive, have you used one before or not?
I will say that he has not, considering how his biology usually is. He probably would have been too concerned about it.
This is gonna be fun. All right. You three are shown to your, your pod units. Daniel jumps in, loads himself in, no problem. Wolfram does the same. You're kind of at a loss. You're like, what am I supposed to do? And this very happy, too happy, medically induced happy flight attendant comes up to you, and in a very, very cheery voice, he says to you, "Sir, have you ever used a stasis pod before?"
No.
"Well, this is going to be an experience for you. I will show you how." And he pulls the tube out and he kind of opens it up. "Just put yourself right in here." And he like assists you as best he can, but he's like not really sure how he's supposed to. Because he's like, where hand go?
Just Clive just stretches their hand to where essentially the hand's supposed to be, like this.
And he kind of grabs it and he's, taken aback a little bit. He's like, oh, forgive me, sir, sorry. And then he like helps you into the pod. And he's
Essentially,
like,
essentially medically induced happy, but Gabe's so confused it's somehow messing with that.
yeah, like this dude is perpetually happy, but he finally saw something that messed with his perpetual happy. And then he kind of he made himself uncomfortable. So he helps you into your pod. He says, "Now, sir, I don't know if," and he like pauses and he's like, "I can't say it like that. That would be rude. I
Wait,
don't know,
I
sir."
think I've seen a movie like this. And they'll essentially form themselves to look like Han Solo before once it got carbonite froze.
Get right up to that line and kiss it. So he just kind of looks at you and he's like, "That might actually help. I'm not sure, sir, but we're gonna close the lid." And he closes the lid and he says, "Sir, do you see the little green button down on your right side?"
Just face turns back to normal. What? Oh, yes.
You push.
What
You
is green?
Did you already push it?
No, just looks down at it and just goes, "What is green?"
Not important, sir. As this guy is having a minor existential crisis. "Just push that button, sir."
All right. Clicks it.
Beep. You ever been asked to count backwards from 100 as far as you can and then you just fail? In other words, have you ever been put under anesthesia before?
Just thinking back to several life cycles.
It's like that. 199. But
all right.
it doesn't even register. Like as soon as you hit that button, night night. Bang, you're out.
Yep. instead of like going for the full like pose, it just shrivels up. Just
These guys are all now effectively in stasis sleep. They are then loaded into the ship and they are transported. Seeing as we are 2 hours and 6 minutes in, I'm almost positive the next 40 of this is going to be nothing but pigeon. But we're getting to him eventually. Pigeon buddy, are you still with us?
I am still alive, yes.
I'm sorry, but I tried, man. These guys are giving me way too much to work with, and I love it. Boley, the stupendously,
Yes, sir.
the stupendously small and bite-sized entertainer. You are thousands of light years away. You were following your current job, and you use that phrase oh so loosely, because your job is to be an entertainer. Your job isn't to be some babysitter for some mech fighter. But that's what you got to do in order to keep that position with the freelancers open so you can write that expose hit piece. You're having entirely not fun. You're upset. You have been stuck on this massive dump of a space station for far too long. What's the name of this shithole anyway? You hear people talking in your imagination. And you remember, oh, yeah, Tau 90. Jewel of the Tau Ceti system, they call it. But hey, at least they've got sports bars. They've got all kinds of places that a stupendously small and bite-sized entertainer such as yourself could get into some trouble or fun, depending on what you're in the mood for. So you find yourself in the Aegis Sports Bar, third ring, Tau Ceti. You're in the third ring where you have discovered most of the fun stuff happens.
Rather be where the fun stuff is when where all the boring shit is.
You say to yourself in the mirror in the little Skittermander's room. You're looking at yourself in this mirror and you like the fact that whoever made this thing, this giant space station, cared so much to make sure that, accommodations were made for the smaller carbons. What do you see in the mirror, bud?
I see quite literally a little fuzzy guy whose fur is well kept, slight juniper at the tips, frosted. He obviously takes care of his hair and his fur. His teeth are sharp, but not too sharp. He is just a little guy and is adjusting his fancy little getup. Gotta dress to impress no matter where you go.
Yeah, you managed to ditch that mech fighter. You've been doing the MC circuit for the Galactic Mechanized Combat League, And you thought to yourself, man, what could be easier than to get this guy to like hire you as his escort just so you could get away and try to find some, shenanigans to get up to. But then he got called away for something and you didn't really care to look into it. Why should you care? There are more interesting things to get up to here on Tau 90.
Hell yeah.
You've met some interesting people. You've met some not so interesting people. You've met a few that you're kind of scared of. You've met a few that you think you could intimidate them, out of their lunch money. You you think this is a place where just a little guy like you could have free reign of the place. If only you were given the chance.
It's hard to get a chance when you're stuck doing shit for other people.
Hmm. Well, you hear a voice. If you only knew where to look, you could find things to do for yourself.
Bully turns to look at the voice. Yeah, like what? I mean, I'm Bully. Have you not heard of me?
Yeah. Elysian Fields Bully. That Bully?
The one and only.
Man, that show sucks, man. You used to be pretty good. You lost your edge.
Bully takes a deep breath. The deepest fucking breath.
What if I
Again, gotta
told...
make money somehow.
Well,
Gotta
see,
drop an edge. You need to.
here's the thing, Bully.
Petty fucks don't like having an edge.
Well, see, that's where you're wrong. Sometimes all you need is a little bit of edge. And sometimes that edge just needs to be ever so slightly sharp. See, news around the grapevine is there something big getting ready to happen here. And one such as yourself, I could let in a little bit. Mostly because I want to see what you do with it.
Color me interested.
I want to see what you could do with it. So what if I told you that this station has some shenanigans, man? The amount of money that comes through here going elsewhere where it shouldn't be going, the amount of freight that gets moved through here, man, stuff goes missing all the time. All the time, Bully. Sometimes entire ships go missing. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're putting down.
I got something of a lead. I don't know which corpo ship it is or what corpo it belongs to. But somebody told me they saw a big mother of a ship come by here not too long ago. And it ain't been seen since. No radio traffic or nothing.
Just fucking dropped off the edge of the star system. Poof, gone.
Who knows? Who can say? Who could say
Bully
it all?
licks his lips, his tongue running over his teeth calmly. Tell you what, I jump on this. Stays between us. At
Well,
least for now.
naturally. Do you finally like get a good look at who you're talking to?
Of course.
All right, roll me a perception.
Hey, I'm good at that.
I know. It's like I know.
11. Fuck me.
You're you're not as bad off as you might think you are. You've been talking to a little Patra this entire time. Now, Patra are, little cat guys. But they're a wide, varied race. They could be little, they could be big. They're panthers, they're fucking tabby cats. This one looks kind of like, a shady Maine Coon. And he's been sly talking you, trying to get you interested, seeing if he could get you to bite on this hook. This big tasty worm on it. And that's your host. That's your natural entertainer's soul talking to you.
Mm.
Of course it stays between us, Bully. Us little guys got to look out for each other. And he's about your height. 3.5 or so feet tall, give or take a little bit.
Yep.
Us little guys got to look out for each other. Now,
Nobody else is gonna do it for us.
I'm not saying you got to give me a huge cut. But if it turns into something, surely you're going to remember Kay's back, right?
Of course. Little guys always gotta look out for each other. Especially
See,
when the info's good.
I knew we could look in and look out for each other. I knew we could.
I'm gonna look into his eyes. Could I tell if he's trying to fully just bait me into being a scapegoat for him, or if his info's actually decent?
I mean, remember what that would be.
Sense motive?
Sense motive. We're going old school with it.
18?
You get the impression that there's something going on here. He's not giving you, he's not even giving you a small fraction of it. But you do get the sense that he 1000% knows there's a ship that's gone missing. How he knows it, why he knows it. But you get there's some really shady, like middle middle of a pine forest shade going on.
Mm.
Look,
Listen, I'm just saying. If your information's good, turns out good, I stay safe, you stay safe. We both stay safe, and you get a little bit of profit.
well, that's all fine. Now, look, here's how you're going to know I'm legit. Come day after tomorrow, Galactic Central Time, there's going to be a freighter that's going to come in here. It's called the Vertigree. You're going to want to get on that. But then again, if I know you like I think I know you, you're already going to have a way on it. You just don't know it yet.
Hmm.
By the way, I'm not even going to make you roll for that. That kind of gives you the creeps. You never seen this guy before. And here he is saying, I know you.
Um, that's a little creepy, but I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Well, I mean, sometimes us little guys are just creepy. But look, just watch the docs. You can't miss it. It's an old quad drive Churchill. You won't be able to not see it. It's the most
You won't be able to hear it too.
well, I mean, you're not gonna be on the docks. They don't let just
Yeah.
anybody down there. But you'll be able to see it. You can't it is impossible to miss it. The ship is literally named after the color that it is. It's the brightest, most
Showy.
unsane color you'll ever see. It's that's oxidized copper. It's like a real chalky green. You won't be able to not see it. That's when you're going to know I am legit.
All right. All right. I'll keep an eye on the docks. And don't get in the ship somehow. I have my ways that I gotta keep secret, trade secret between us little guys.
Nah, see, you're not even going to have to sneak on. You're going to get invited on. Trust me.
Bully just looks him dead in the eyes and goes, "Now this ain't some ploy to fucking kidnap me, is it?"
I mean, you're a pretty good MC for the mech fights, but you ain't no, like, you're not fucking Caladan's gift to the galaxy or anything.
Because I've been trying to get fucking Elysian Fields back on the up and up. But you know how the fucking bureaucrats are.
Look, all I can tell you is this. Watch for the ship, the green chalky one, and you'll have the mother of a story for your show. Trust me.
All right, I'll trust you.
This story is almost good enough to die for.
Fine. I trust you.
It's about time somebody does. You're not going to see me again until after this is all over, but trust me. You'll know. You'll know. And then this guy, this little Patra, just walks out of the restroom you guys have been talking in, and he just leaves you be.
Wally looks over his shoulder back at himself in the mirror and just goes, "Weird fucking guy," and walks out of the bathroom.
This whole galaxy is staffed and built by weird guys.
Amen.
So, a day, yeah, a day goes by. You've kept yourself entertained. You've wandered around the second tier of Tau 90, where a lot of the dock access is, and you've been steadily watching. You finally see something you didn't actually think you were gonna see. You see a ship come in and dock. And it is that really weird color of just oxidized copper.
Bully chuckles to himself. Holy shit.
See, Bully? You just gotta trust people from time to time. You almost feel as if somebody whispered that in your ear. Do you?
Bully sort of
Go ahead.
shakes his whole, does the whole body shakes and looks over his shoulder to see if somebody did whisper that in his ear.
There ain't nobody there, bud.
Okay, so I'm just going crazy. Bully then proceeds to crack his knuckles, stretches the legs, and gets ready to put on the charm and start schmoozing.
All right. Boys, as much as I would love to keep on going, it's getting late for me, and I believe I've reached a good stopping spot. Pigeon, I'm sorry we didn't get to go for a lot longer. But
Hey, it's
hey,
all good, man.
we're at a good starting spot for you next session. Because next session, boy oh boy, what could happen? Who knows? All these chaotic little shits might meet up and
I am
go.
neutral good. Thank you very much.
I am very much not. I'm
I'm here for a job.
You're here for
just a little guy.
everyone here is here for many things. But hey, guys, I've thoroughly enjoyed this first session. A little lengthy, a little wordy. Shit's gonna get particularly interesting next time. Hopefully, we have thoroughly dipped our toes, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
Oh yeah, no, it's been wonderful. Thank you, Chucker.
I can't wait to
Been-
see how this combat works out.
Well,
I'm ready.
depending on how next session plays out, you might be in some. That's all I'm gonna say on the
Wahoo.
topic. I might as well go on ahead and continue with the Burning Brim entertainment tradition of title ideas, boys. I've kind of just been going off I'm just going to go episode 1, episode 2.
First day vibes.
First days.
Yeah, something like that.
If it's
Deep space fishing.
Just weird vibes.
Oh, that's a good one.
For anybody who's not catching it, Helix is basically my version of Max Headroom, if you know who that is. The face of New Coke back in the 80s, ride the wave, drink Coke. But he's a complete hologram.
I see what you're talking about.
He was specifically designed to be super quirky and off-putting to everybody. But there are laws and stuff in place where he cannot legally be changed from that. So peek behind the curtain a little bit for everybody. But hey, guys, I like the idea of calling it Weird Vibes.
I like it.
I'd say the long sleep.
It's fucking awesome.
All right. Well,
Go
thank
for
you.
another 5 more minutes.
Well, you get the kind of sleep you deserve, I guess.
Frozen and unmoving.
Which for you would be none at all.
Don't remind me.
But I thank you guys for sticking with me on this one. We're off to, I believe, a decent, good start. A little slow, but hey, it's gonna pick up.
Yeah. By the way, Tracker, do you want to know why Shifter wasn't exactly like surprised by the size of good old
I'd love to
Calvin?
hear this.
Because the biggest thing on his home world that's a normal thing is called a Megadoloroid.
Oh yeah,
Guess how big it is?
it's a lot bigger than Caval.
About half.
Yep, there are some true titans that walk.
It lives off of kinetic energy, so
There are some
yeah,
true
it's
titans
big.
that walk around in the Starfinder system. I am personally very happy none of y'all picked any of the large races.
Hey, I just wanted to play a little guy, and I'm getting to play my little guy. I'm happy.
I just want to play a weird guy, and I'm getting to play them. It's fucking great.
I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Everybody's playing very well, playing their characters exactly as I was told they were going to. So all the stuff I've got prepared, all the story bits are just going to fall as they should, and I shouldn't have to really work that hard.
Excellent.
Just the way
Let's
we like it.
go.
But hey, guys,
Well,
it's ultimately a collaborative storytelling effort. That's what these games are all about. I'm here to have fun with you guys, and hopefully y'all have fun with me going through this.
Have
Oh,
been
It's
so far.
always fun to throw a wrench into gears.
Yeah, but see, you're the chaotic one.
Was I chaotic this time?
Surprisingly, no, but we still have many, many sessions to go. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
yes.
Well, I can't always be chaos. I mean, get one game where I am going to be chaotic in this game. I'll be the family friendly.
Mm,
You're gonna have
that's
opportunities.
real soon.
I have situations for just about everybody where they can test the waters if they so choose.
Interesting.
Make the ion bombs.
Is that effectively what the course was for? A starting point for that?
The course was legitimately them giving you kind of a test to see if you would actually do the work.
I mean, he was asked to do it, so he did.
Because the left side of the room was in fact a trap.
Understand?
The left side of the room, let's just put it this way, would have truly tested your agility. You'd have been making some actual factual reflex saves.
Oof.
No checks. Saves, boy, saves.
Got it. Got it.
Well, I'm gonna get the
Nipple
I'm gonna get the end credits ready to roll here, so good night everybody.
off.
Yeah.
Ah.
Good night.